Okay, let's talk about step 5. Step 5 is overcome obstacles, and this is where we effortlessly destroy their objections. I'm actually a big believer that underneath any objection is the simple truth that you just haven't sold them in the way they want to be sold. Because remember, people don't actually like being sold to, but they love to buy. Think about it in your own life. You know, when you go out to buy a new TV or a new car, whatever it happens to be, if the salesperson comes up and they're all pushy and are just trying to get you to buy, often you just walk out and go to another shop. But if they take the time to understand what it is you're looking for and to understand whatever kind of constraints you might have around time and money, then they'll help you come up with a solution that's going to work for everybody. And that's exactly what we need to do here. We need to understand the subconscious buying process that the person needs to move through in order for objections to not come up in the first place. So that's step 1. And I explain how to do that on the page. The next thing is, well, what if, despite your best efforts, objections still do come up? And I'm talking about objections like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, it's not something I need right now, I don't like it, I don't like the color, or maybe I don't need it at all. You know, I need to talk to my husband or my business partner, or I need to talk to my boss. Whatever it happens to be, an objection just means you haven't sold to that person in the way they subconsciously want to buy. That's a key take home. Okay, so if the objection comes up anyway, what do you do? Well, I'm now almost 32, and ever since I was 14, I've been studying Jiu-Jitsu, which is a Japanese martial art where you redirect the attacker's force and use it against them so you don't need to use any of your own strength. And I like to take that mindset and that approach into overcoming objections. So I call it objection jiu-jitsu. We're going to take the energy that the person puts into objecting and we're going to redirect that and turn it back on them. It's very, very simple and very, very powerful. And I'll show you how to do it right now. I'll give you a few examples. Okay, so the first thing you can do is find the intention behind the objection. It's a principle in NLP that every single behavior has a positive intention behind it, either for yourself or someone else. So if someone is objecting to the price of whatever it is that you're selling, you could assume, and it's an assumption, yeah, it could be right, it could be wrong, but you could assume on the spot that their positive intention for themselves is to save money. So you could say something like, imagine how much more money you'll be able to save when you have achieved fantastic results in your business as a result of my business coaching. Do you see how that works? We've taken the objection of not having enough money, which has the intention behind it to save money, and we have shown them how to fulfill that intention of saving money by investing in your program. That is jiu-jitsu at its finest. The second way that we can use objection jiu-jitsu is to elicit what's called the hierarchy of criteria. So when someone objects, what they're saying is that their objection is more important than what you're asking them to buy, and we need to flip that around. So with the hierarchy of criteria, what we do is we say something like this: isn't it more important to focus on getting what you want out of life rather than how much time or money you need to put in to get there? Now, who could argue with that? No one's going to argue with that, right? Who is really going to say, no, it's more important to focus on how much money I need to put in rather than what I get in my life and whether or not I get what I want? It's almost impossible to argue with that logic. And the third way that I'm going to share with you that you can use objection jiu-jitsu is my all-time favorite, and this is called apply to self. So the reason this is my favorite is this is true jiu-jitsu. You're absolutely taking their objection and turning it back on themselves. If they say, I don't have enough money, you could say something like, imagine how much more money you'd have if you weren't wasting time with beliefs like that. Now, you have to have a certain level of rapport to be able to pull off a statement like that because it's quite in your face. But if you've built that level of rapport with someone and you deliver it in a friendly way, you're going to shake up their map of reality, their model of the world, just enough that you should then be able to get them across the line with the sale. Okay, so that's objection jiu-jitsu. That is step 5, effortlessly overcoming their objections. I want you to take those 3 patterns and figure out how you could use them to overcome objections in your own business. Now, I actually have 14 of those patterns that I teach in my mentoring program, but those 3 patterns are enough to get you started, so go for that now.